Good morning. It is Tuesday, January 20th. I am back from the tiny house and I wrapped up the other vlog yesterday while I was there, but I just wanted to go ahead and start the new vlog here after I came back. So it is Tuesday morning, and basically this week I'm going to be focusing on a couple of things. One is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This is a fairy loot book and follows a Romeo and Juliet retelling set in Shanghai in the 1920s and following rival gang families. So very fun so far. I'm also going to be listening to I have the ebook, so I'm going to be following along as much as I can because it's definitely very info heavy towards the beginning, which I think will be easier to digest if I can also see it and hear it. But I'm listening to / reading the ebook of Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. And yeah, so that's going to be the focus this week. And that book follows, it's a political standalone high fantasy actually, that's pretty long, but a standalone, which is pretty rare. And so far it just follows two different parts of this world, and you're just kind of getting oriented to the politics. And there are dragons and people who might become dragon riders, and so just kind of getting oriented to the world right now, but you know, more as I read. But honestly, I fully expect that I won't be able to finish either of those this week. I do have off on Wednesday for the inauguration, so I might get to at least more reading done than I can in a typical week, but there's also a lot I want to get done on Wednesday. So we'll see how much reading I can get done, but I don't expect that I'll be able to get through either of those, so I probably won't be reading much else, but I will check in later on in the week to let you know how things are going. Good morning. It is Tuesday, January 26th, and the end of this reading vlog, so we'll get it wrapped up. I did finish These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This is the artwork on the Fairy Loot edition. I did finish this week and had such a good time with this. This one was fan-freaking-tastic. So, if you're not familiar, this is a Romeo and Juliet retelling set in 1920s Shanghai, where Juliet and Roma are from two different rival gang families. So you follow, as I said, 1920s Shanghai with all of these gang families and gang violence going on. There's a struggle for power, so you follow members of these different families, and there are a series of deaths that are going on, very mysterious deaths and pretty graphic deaths. And so ultimately Roma and Juliet team up in secret in order to try to figure out what's going on with these deaths, because both families and the city overall are being ravaged by these deaths. And of course there's a lot more going on in the city as well. There are, as I said, different groups, not just gang families, but there are different groups vying for power. So there's a lot going on in the city that was super interesting. Part of it based on real history, which was really cool. And the setting was incredible. I could picture everything. First of all, I loved her writing style a lot. It was very descriptive, not overly flowery or anything. Not even flowery really, but very descriptive. I really loved her writing style. She did a great job just painting the scene and having the setting shine, and the setting was really cool. I loved the characters. I loved both Juliet and Roma and their dynamic. I loved just kind of seeing their interactions with some of their family members. I thought it was really interesting, and seeing them piece together different clues that they were finding to help figure out what was going on with these deaths that were starting to really ravage the city, as I said. So I thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm so looking forward to the next one to see what happens. So yeah, that was my main physical read for the week, and I got that finished on Sunday. And after that I'm doing a buddy read with Sarah from Sarah's Reading Nook. She's absolutely delightful. I will leave her channel linked below. And so I have started the Song of Achilles, and I'm listening to that one on audio. I'm really enjoying the audiobook so far. So that's what I picked up after I finished these Violent Delights. The other read that I have is I'm still making my way through Priory of the Orange Tree. I'm about halfway through and absolutely loving it. So I said in last week's vlog that it's taking a minute to get into just because there's a lot going on and you have to there's a lot of, not necessarily info dumping, I mean there's definitely a lot of info dumping and just kind of figuring out the world. You do kind of jump into things to some degree, and there's a lot of details that are filled in along the way, but it can definitely be a lot to remember. And it took about 25 to 30% of the way through before I really felt oriented and like I knew who the characters were, I knew what the setting was in these different parts of the world, and where the story was headed. And I'm loving it. I'm loving following. There are a bunch of characters that we're following. It's a pretty wide cast that are spread across this world, and so I'm having a fantastic time, but I will talk about it more in next week's vlog. I'm, as I said, halfway through and absolutely loving every minute of it. So that's my current ebook slash audiobook. I'm reading the ebook while listening to the audiobook. So that's what I'm doing part of the time, and then also listening to Song of Achilles. But yes, that's it for this week's reading vlog. It'll probably be pretty short, but absolutely would recommend These Violent Delights is the takeaway from this week. And I will leave my Twitter and Instagram link down below. Of course, subscribe for more bookish content. I will also leave more information about how you can support the Black Lives Matter movement, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.